people like this are enabled because they can put on an act, and they can act very nice. They can act like your friend, and they can be the worst person as soon as they walk away from that camera. But it's their. It sounds so. It's not to sound cynical, but it is these people's jobs to make you like them, because when you like them, that's how they make money.
I don't think there's a happy ending here for Jared. PewDiePie made fun of him. He's an internet meme now. My fucking mom on the Mother's Day phone call, I only saw that tweet. My mom found out about this.
I don't care about Jared in the slightest. Dude's always been a dick to me. But
what we get here in brief is a study of everything that's wrong with the internet and a large part of what's wrong with human nature in the 21st century. Pat the NES Punk breaks down with you his mentality, his motivation, why it is that he's taken an internet rumor and run with it to harshly condemn another human being. And if you guys followed this story as it happened, it was soon enough proven to the whole world that these allegations were complete nonsense. But what happens in between when the allegations are first made and when the facts become plain to anyone who's paying attention is enough to destroy someone's life. And I know from my own experience, only a minority of people are going to be paying attention later on when the facts become clear.
A little bit narcissistic, at least, and maybe slightly sociopathic. Narcissistic sociopathy. And that's the nicest way I can put it.
If you've been watching this channel, you have heard me say recently, civil rights are not just for people you sympathize with. Civil rights are not just for people you like. The people we disagree with, the people we find disgusting or repellent, the people we may be most inclined to presume to be guilty, the people we're biased against, those are the people who need civil rights the most. Civil rights, either they're for everyone or they're for no one. All right? Even when you're looking at the most extreme case, a terrorist, someone we have no sympathy for, it's crucial that procedurally we think in terms of civil rights, including the presumption that you're innocent until proven guilty. But this paradigm of civil rights only applies to the behavior of the authorities towards the individual, the interaction between the powerless individual and the all-powerful state. And what we're talking about here is the relationship between the individual and other more powerful individuals given tremendous, far-reaching power and consequences because of the internet.
And then literally 2 days after MagFest, Jared calls me and says, I'm out. I don't want to do this. Oh, he texted me he was out and didn't want to do it, and pulled the rug out from under me and Brent. We had worked so hard on this project. We said we are committed to this. Let's do this. This could be something. And I think it could have been something if we did it regularly. I really do think that. It started strong. And so me and Brent scrambled to find a replacement, and we're like, you know what? Fuck it. This isn't worth it. And at that point on, Jared's relationship with me, and probably Brent, I don't want to speak for him, it sort of dissipated, and I didn't talk to Jared as much anymore because I think he saw himself going up, 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 and Brent and Pat weren't going to help his career. And that's pretty much how it stood with me and Jared after that point, after, like, I'd say mid-2014 and 2014, where, no more chats, no more checking in with each other. You see each other at a convention, you might say hi to each other, but, that's it. You're gone. So that's how I knew Jared's development to be as a person.
The responsibility I have toward you, not to defame you. The responsibility I have toward you to treat you as innocent until proven guilty. The responsibility I have to treat you with decency does not depend on you being a decent human being. I may be biased against you, I may despise you, I may have no sympathy for you, okay? But I still have a moral obligation. In the same way that civil rights still apply to you, even if you are a terrorist, even if you are a murderer, even if you're some despicable person, or even if you're just someone we're biased against, I don't know, because you're a drug addict or because you live in poverty, you still have those civil rights. Procedurally and profoundly, I'm going to treat you with a certain kind of dignity just because you're a human being or just because you're a citizen. Okay? I am going to treat you with dignity because of my own dignity, because of my own moral standards. Moral standards that depart from me and that define who I am, prevent me from ever doing what you're about to see Pat the NES Punk doing here, as he rambles so easily from a vague internet rumor to harshly condemning someone as a narcissist and a sociopath.
I saw the change in him, or maybe that's all how he always was, where he just forgot about the friends he knew because, well, I'm bigger than you now, guys, so why would I talk to you? And I've seen that with a couple of YouTubers. I bring him up as an example, and there's one more I don't want to talk about right now that I definitely saw that in. So the type of person that does that, in my opinion, is a little bit narcissistic, at least, that you can forget about people like they're nothing, and maybe slightly sociopathic, that they think they can use people until they can't anymore, they get away with it. So when I see someone get outed for doing bad behavior, not just infidelity, but infidelity with mutual friend that everyone knew, that you went to LA to hang out and be featured on Game Grumps, and then you turn around and have sex with the wife of one of those people, that's some narcissistic sociopathy. That's some narcissistic sociopathy. And that's the nicest way I can put it. I'm dominating the conversation here, I'm sorry. But I just want to lay it all out about this is such a strange situation to me. But from what I saw of Jared, I'm not shocked that I could see this being done by this person. Because Jared was always one of the examples behind the scenes that me and Ian spoke about what happens to people that get YouTube fame and it goes to their head and it becomes out of control. And I don't think he hid it well to his colleagues, or they ignored it maybe to an extent about his ego getting the better of him. But I saw it. I saw the transformation.
The allegations made against Projared were never credible. I figured them out. I figured out that they were nonsense. I had absolutely no inside source information. They were not credible. There was a time when allegations were made against me here on YouTube. And those allegations also, anyone who had a few brain cells to put together, they were in many obvious ways not credible, including just like geography. Wait a minute. When was I in Scotland? Wait a minute. When was I in Quebec? Wait a minute. When was I in Germany? The number of places I would have had to have been in a short period of time for the allegations to be true was already a big red flag. And the animus of the person making up the allegations against me was obvious. The motivation of why these things were presented. But you know what? None of those people apologized to me after the fact. None of them even deleted their videos. None of them put up a retraction. And the only exceptions I can mention are cases where I went after those people, where I sent them email and wrote to them, sometimes years later, saying, look, you still have a video up on the internet making really serious allegations against me, criminal allegations, really defaming me in terms of my personal life, my sex life, like financially defaming me, saying that like I'm engaged in financial crimes. And this was all on the basis of what? You didn't put as much thought into this as you put into like a high school book review assignment, But you didn't think it was beneath your dignity. You didn't think it was immoral for you to do this to me. Whether or not it was immoral conduct for you has nothing to do with how good a person I may or may not be. It has nothing to do with whether or not I'm a terrible person. It has nothing to do with whether or not you can sympathize with me. Civil rights are for everybody, or else they're for nobody. Either all of us have them, or nobody has them. And we have to now cultivate, in a secular society, in an atheist society, a system of morals and a sense of personal responsibility that goes way beyond what we were familiar with in the 20th century. We have to develop an ethic of taking responsibility for your own words and your own deeds and the harm that's done. Each of us has to start treating others with civil rights as if all of us are policemen. As absurd as it sounds, because allegations made here on the internet can carry much more weight and carry much further reaching consequences than a piece of paper written down in a police station that might have, in the old days, never gotten into the newspapers, that might have been quashed or addressed or resolved or settled out of court without destroying someone's professional reputation, without destroying someone's career, without destroying their family life, their sex life, and so on.